Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Been a busy day. This was our first video that we did. This is over on Patreon. It's an exclusive on Patreon. You could join the Patreon family for as little as $1 a month. Actually, 90 cents a month, less than $1 menu item per month when you pay for a year in advance. So you could come join us for exclusives over there each week. Okay, let's listen to what 45/47 has to say when asked about what's going on with all those UAP drones.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And they should, because the people are really, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been?
Oh boy, adding some fuel to the fire there, eh?
Yes, and I think he's making a point when he's saying I've decided to cancel my trip, and then we even have whole airports, right? Airports that have just shut down, which really military. It really took me back a little bit. It's even hard for me to face it now.
Well, he said it's not the enemy, so then who is it?
I know, and they don't want to say. So to me, it's just one huge. It is a huge psyop, but there's some very real stuff behind it. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm dismissive by calling it a psyop. This is a really big deal for all of us. And right now, I know what they're doing. when it comes to social media, they are writing this stuff down. They are gathering data. They're seeing how humans are going to react. And they're going to probably use it to their benefit. And then I've had some other things that go through my mind that are not so pleasant. So, but I also know we have another set of beings that are helping us. So it's, we have to do our part and be the best version of ourselves, I think, is what we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a Trump advisor that was giving a speech. He's young. And he just simply collapsed and faints on stage. And what is this? What really is going on there? He's just saying he was having a problem finding the words, and he collapses. He is okay. But, again, it's just, there's such an awakening going on right now. And so much of the world has been just sleepwalking through life because, again, it takes so much just to pay your taxes, which hopefully that'll all change pretty soon, because we're discovering exactly what happens when you do pay those taxes. Where do they go? Yeah, New Jersey receives report. Radioactive medical device was lost in transit. So here you go. And a lot of times people, again, the cognitive dissonance. If these really are Defense Department drones doing radiation sniffing for possible dirty bombs, you can understand why they wouldn't want to panic people. Yet this is all over the world. So, and we're talking countries that may not even necessarily actually see conflict in WW3. It's not just the U.S., it's not just Russia, China, the U.K., France, etc. It's all over. It's everywhere. So it's not just, it could be partly, looking for missing dirty bomb material or, again, medical radioactive material that's lost in transit, as you see. This event notification was from December 13th, so 3 days ago. Boy, it's really, really interesting to watch all this, because if we're just worried about the U.S., it's one thing. I'm looking at real-time radiation world map here. which again is hard to access because so many people are watching this constantly, and it's understandable. You want to find out, are the radiation readings in my area going crazy, or are we okay over here? San Diego was elevated again. Lubbock, Texas, I hadn't seen anything in Texas before elevated. Here it's elevated. I'm trying to remember the doctor's name. I think it was Dr. Wolf had said that Chernobyl was shut down for a 300 reading. Lubbock's at 278, 276, I believe, in San Diego. And then when we look over here, this North Dakota reading popped on, then it popped off, 223. That is 223, right? And you can still see there's still readings in the greater New York area that are elevated, 375 there. You see, this is getting close to where those earthquakes were. That's only slightly elevated at a 50 there. But Waterbury, Connecticut, that's been elevated now for days. And here we go, 222. It's curious, too. It probably is totally unrelated. Do you guys remember that strange earthquake that hit New York City? It hit right here. It hit right here, as you see with the Hoboken sign. That was really a curious event, 278 down here. But it's not just us. This is in the Czech Republic. 913, that's really elevated. How about north of Frankfurt, Germany, 279? And then, don't forget, yesterday we were showing readings over here in Brazil, 666. They're trying to give us a message, 666. In Azerbaijan as well, we had seen elevated readings. So it's not missing nuclear material in the U.S. That doesn't explain all these other countries. So I don't think it's all U.S. drones. And, this is Jim Ferguson. He's talking about a lot of people heading to the hospitals. It's December. It's the time again when clouds, weather change, the lack of sunshine, it does lower the immune systems, and you get people that get the flu. People get sick this time of year. But a lot of people having nausea, vomiting, headache, and diarrhea. And so part of this, too, I want to say is ascension related. But, here he's positing, is this possibility of radiation poisoning? This is cool. This is pro-pixel imaging UAP research. This guy is just blown away. It's about 5 minutes long. But he does a deep dive into a photo that he stills. And honestly, these ships like this, these are reptilian ships. I'm just sharing that from experience.
Yes, they're not nice.
No, these are reptilian ships. And yes, they can emit drones. They can emit other types of, UAVs. So, he takes a picture of a ship in the cloud. And what blows him away is the way that the ship kind of goes ahead and moves and then just seems to disappear dimensionally. Or is it just traveling at such a great speed that it just simply blinks out, like, go to warp speed, Scotty? Yes, this is an interdimensional thing that's happening. To at least a decent percentage of what we're seeing is interdimensional. Just, again, think to your radio channel. 1400 AM is sports radio. 1450 is talk radio. 1500 could be a country channel. It's just a matter of changing the frequency a little bit, and you get an all-new program. Meanwhile, above the Pentagon, you got beams of light coming down. This is the thing that many of us have always known. And whether you call them demons or demonic entities, there are absolutely interdimensional beings at play here. And they do overshadow people that do have the ability to make a lot of decisions that affect a lot of people's lives in a very big way. We also have beings that we would call angelic. I do think that, again, interdimensional and extraterrestrial beings have been mistaken for both angels and demons. The original translation of angel in the Greek literally translates to messenger. to messenger. When you really look at the Bible, the first reference that we take as saying God is in the plural, Elohim, and it literally means the mighty or powerful ones. It could also mean the judges or the rulers, those that are actually controlling the planet. Now, here you have exceedingly clear footage of UFO, UAP. In my day, we would have called it a flying saucer. But yeah, this is in New Mexico. We had great times in New Mexico. We love New Mexico. It looks like it's beaming something down or beaming something up. What is it doing? But I don't know exactly what it's doing. I'll ask Cindy what her opinion is. However, what I wanted to show is this. This is the Annunciation. This is Carlo Crivelli. This is a famous painting from 1486. This is over 500 years old, this painting. This is called the Annunciation. And this is Mother Mary. Wait a minute. This is Mary, the mother of Jesus. Look at this. You have a beam of light going in through her crown chakra. Yes, chakras are real. In fact, you would not exist without your chakras functioning. Chakras draw in energy, subatomic particles into our system. We are multidimensional beings in the first place. And it has what looks to be the Holy Spirit coming down. It's a dove. Here you have a being with wings talking to a bishop. You can't make this up. This painting's over 500 years old. That looks like that, at least somewhat. Look it's giving off rays of light. It's giving off rays of light. Wow. So, what are you telling me? Jesus was an alien? Well, I would definitely say that he was a starseed ascended master. He was somebody that was here to help free the enslaved in more ways than one people of the world. And the control system just simply changed his message to suit them. And that's what they do all the time.
It is what they do. And this is...
Going back to this.
Yes, we want to go back to that for a minute. So here's my concern. It's a fairly big concern for people. Energy can change the way you think. And it changes the way you feel. And if you're not really in touch with yourself and honed in, you may be getting false information and act on something that you otherwise would not. So I think I need people what this is changing somebody's energy field, which changes the way they act and behave. This concerns me because I'm feeling this is a little too deliberate. This feels like where humans have taken different alien technology and rewired it and recooked it, and they're using it for human behavior. However, I have experienced these on a galactic level, so they look very much like some of the galactic saucers or machinery that I have seen, especially this beam of light. I mean, it has everything to do with actually being able to, and some of you have had experiences where you've had abduction experiences, whether you know it or not. Maybe you just have a hunch where you've been taken up, and this is where they actually take up the energy body, or what you might call the soul, and they can work on it. It's just, this is a very low level of technology compared to what truly is out there, and I'm afraid that they could be misusing it.
So in other words, this is something you're saying feels like it was reverse engineered, and instead of using it for a benevolent reason, this could be inserting maybe false memories or something dark into the person's energy field. This is a spiritual battle. That just simply means it's a multi-dimensional battle. Because again, when we talk about a spiritual dimension, it's just that it's a different density. And so this is the big realization. We've all kind of been right the whole time. It is angels and demons to an extent, but it's also extraterrestrials and interdimensional beings. Again, I go back to that representative from Texas who just for whatever reason, and she has been on the congressional hearings for disclosure, just put out a picture of the Belt of Orion. Again, if you know the law of one, the raw material, the channeled material that came through back in the 70s, that's a good place to get some, basic knowledge from. This Orion group, as they call them, the service to self-orientated beings that are really working to keep human souls enslaved just for the sole reason of using our energy. Because we are all source spark. Source is in us. The real source of all things is in us. This is when Jesus said, why do you marvel at my miraculous healings? Because you're going to do even better. Greater things you will do. This is what he meant. It's just when you understand that, no, you're not some weak being full of all sorts of faults. They cultivate that mindset. We truly can create heaven on earth, and that's really what we're here for. And yet the dark system wants us to basically view ourselves in a limited way, because they can't have us stepping into our true power. You're talking about a world full of Harry Potters. They don't want that. They're the ones that want to control the narrative. They can't have you waking up and understanding that you don't have to go along with the system that they put in place. And there are benevolent ETs out there that are tired of humanity being used and abused. Now, the real Galactic Federation won't intervene in a militaristic way because they're on fifth density. They're up in a higher plane of existence. They would appear to us as pure plasma, pure energy, perhaps in a humanoid shape, but not really so solid. And they're also on that higher frequency where they won't interfere. It's kind of like that Star Trek, no intervention clause. Now, there are ET beings out there that are on our density, or maybe just a hair higher, that they're a little bit more take charge. And they're a little bit more like, no, we're not going to watch you do this to the humans again. And there are some that might literally step in and change things. And, again, you have a disclosure going on. We've never been alone. And there's tons of different beings all around us all the time. And, yeah, our reality is way more like Star Wars or Star Trek. And, by the way, it's no coincidence that Herr Klaus likes to dress up like Darth Vader.
Oh, I know. He wants to be the controller. So, I mean, I see a lot of objects that are definitely reverse engineered, and it's very much like, Nostradamus, and then the gods shall have a great war, and they're showing off their toys is what they're doing. They're showing off their inventions. So there is such a big part of this that is, that our military knows exactly what's going on. Our politicians know exactly what's going on. They're choosing not to tell us. And it's really frustrating because they're treating us like we are so stupid. They're doing this word salad, which I guess makes them feel superior, like they are better than us. But it's about us. I think this is our pivotal point where we can change. This is where we can take our energy and go elsewhere. We really truly can, because we were called as humans to control our emotions, which are extremely powerful. That's what they tap into. They tap into our emotion and they feed off of our emotion. And we have the ability to not allow that to happen. And we have help. We absolutely have help, because there are those that are out there and they are communicating to us. There is a part of them that wants humans to know and understand that, no, you're not alone, and this is where you are from. Can you look and can you find this pattern in your sky?
Yeah, it's clear communication. These are exciting times, and we do know they want to get us looking other places, want to create that third WW. Yet at the same time, nothing is set in stone. They want you to think that you cannot change what has been prophesized. But I think true prophecy is given as a warning. Hey, watch out for this. If you see this happening, this is something that could occur. It's not given saying you can't escape this no matter what. No, not at all. as NASA was researching V2K back in 1980. You know, the FIVE, the letter that comes after F. In order to manipulate and send thoughts into people's minds. This is something that we're right here. But it's not a mass hallucination. And no, you know, those that think they are the top apex predator on the planet are not necessarily. And sometimes things that we might not think of as predators push back. And then the predator is the one that's on the run. And that's starting to happen.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing time. Again, I think we have to just weather this storm. And truly, most people haven't even begun to dream about how good reality can become on this planet, this very planet. Life would be so different if we just had a different system, one that truly cared about people and each other. This dog, this big Great Dane, right? I think he's a Great Dane. That bird's trapped. What did he do? He didn't eat the bird. No, he took the bird out and he set it free. Yeah, there's ETs out there and there's interdimensional beings that, you know, we could view as a big Great Dane to us being a tiny little bird. But what do they want to do? Some of them actually want to come and set us free.
Keep that in mind, folks.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.